Hello everybody, it's your boy bringing out a video, and this video is of major importance, but it has no bearing on the Philadelphia Eagles. And before we begin, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the video. Don't forget to smash those likes and let me know what you think about the video that I'm about to bring to you, and the particular content about a former player from the NFC East. All right, let's begin. Michael Parsons. Now, I'm quite sure you all have heard by now, and we as Eagles fans or sports fans in general do not wish to add or wish any injury on a player, no matter how much we dislike them. Michael Parsons has suffered a severe ACL tear in a game against the Broncos. Yesterday, the Broncos won the football game, but the injury, it's not about the game won or lost. It's about a individual who is one of the best in the business. Former first-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys. The guy's a multi-Pro Bowl, multi-All-Pro with Dallas, and he was on pace to be a first Pro Bowl as a Green Bay Packer. But now with this significant injury, that kind of changes everything and forth what he's going to do, because now when you put this way, when you have injury late in the season, especially ACL tears or something of that nature, it takes you up to about halfway during the season to return. Because see, if you don't believe me, ask our boy from the Philadelphia Eagles line, but he has suffered a knee injury or an ACL tear in the playoff game to win a Super Bowl. I can't think of that boy name for all the mouth in the world, but my mind's so focused on Michael Parsons that it's really strange for the guy to suffer a non-contact ACL tear. Now, they have showed footage of how the injury occurred, and it is not a nice view to see. But I can give you a hint or some specific details about the injury. If you go back and watch the film, he was going for the pass rush. He was going for the sack against. He was finna get ready to sack the Broncos quarterback, but he made a specific turn, and when he turned, his feet, or should I say the tip of his head, the bottom of his foot, was going for the rush, and you can see the bone shaking or going a different direction from where he was going. So he was going right. The injury occurred in his knee going left, and you can see the bone that's moved. I mean, it just bent. I mean, it's severe. This is a very severe injury, and the way it looked, I'm just surprised that it did not pop out of his leg. That's how severe that injury looked. It looked so horrible. And so, matter of fact, this is the first time that Michael Parsons has ever suffered a knee injury. He never had an injury from his college career into the pros. He never had a career injury. He never had a season ending. Never had. This is the first time he's ever suffered one. What does this do for the team down the road? It's gonna be some issues, because like I said, the Broncos won the game, and Michael Parsons went out on a stretcher. They showed him where he couldn't even get up. That's how severe the injury was. They had to carry a cart. They had to bring a cart on a stretcher to get him off the football field. I saw that in Yesterday's highlight, but I didn't see the injury until I had a chance to look at one of the videos here on YouTube, and they showed how his injury occurred. Oh, excuse me. And it's not nice. It's not a pretty sight. I mean, it is something that you don't want to think about at night, because it could be anybody you know, anybody you care about. I mean, Like I said, we don't want to wish injury on nobody, no matter how we hate them, how bad we hate them, or dislike them. You never do that. You never don't want to wish any injury on nobody, no matter who they play for or what they're from or that or the other. You don't want to wish death on nobody, and you definitely do not want to wish injury on anybody. So, but this injury to Michael Parsons is really severe. It's season ending, and he's more likely to have surgery sometime this week if he haven't already have had it already. So he's gonna be out all next year. We all know that ACL takes 4 to 6 months to heal. So with it being December and the injury occurred on the 14th, which was yesterday. So you count from December, actually started in January, because January and when the injury hit the season begins. So you count January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. He might come back in October, possibly November, like our boy in the number 17. He came back in November. So it's a good chance that he could come back in October, maybe November. I'm not exactly sure on that, because injuries like that take time to heal. You can't rush nobody with injuries like that, because see, one thing about it though, when he does come back, they're gonna open up a 21-day window open, and so he got to pass. He got to go through a lot of physical contact, a lot of speed tests, run tests, weightlifting tests. I mean, knee bend. I mean, all kind of tests he gonna have to take to make sure that he's ready to roll. Because one thing about it, you got to stretch an ACL. ACL is a small little gristle in the knee that makes the knee bend back and forward. That ACL Mnths that's in his knee has to bend, where it can bend back and bend the correct way. And the difference between an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, those two positions, offense mean centers, right, left guards, left and right tackles, defensive ends, defensive tackles, linebackers, all those guys put pressure on their knees and ankles to get upfield, and they got to turn to get to the quarterback. So it's gonna take Michael Parsons around that time, because he got the bend, he got the turn. I mean, he could go through a lot of tests to make sure that he's ready to rock in next season game. So my hats and kudos to Michael Parsons. Hope he do come back from an injury like that. Hope that he does, because injuries like that are really hard to come back. They really hard to come back on. Back then, if you tore your ACL, that was your career. Back in the 80s and the 70s, and from when NFL started up until the 80s and early 90s, if you tore your ACL, that was your career. Now, since modern medicine and exercise routines have gotten more better, players are now able to come back and play off ACL tears. It just takes a little time to get back on your foot, but they're able to come back now. So I wish Michael Parsons the best. Hope he does come back from a severe injury, because that's really severe. That's really, I mean to actually see that with your eyes on film, it's something you do not want to dream about at night. So without any further ado, this is your boy, the Almighty Green Times. You guys enjoy your day. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe to the video. I'm out of here. Peace.